This is the book of 2 Ezra 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And many, many, many great miseries are coming and have been coming to Babylon, man. And they're only going to continue to increase upon Babylon and the rest of the world. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Bahasham, Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutations to you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutation to my fellow brethren that are pushing his word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And hope and pray that this, in the news, be edifying to the elect. So I have a few videos, a few articles, a few scriptures lined up, and, which is all part of, as the scriptures say, what's that, 2 Ezra 9? Let's measure in the time. I think it was 2 Ezra 9. This is 2 Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So we're seeing a lot of calamities happening on this earth. So let's start off with we'll go coast to coast. Let's start off with New York. Woman alighting bus gets swept away by current during flood. Gets swept away by current during New York flooding.
Closing doors, please.
Lots of turmoil going on. Back in New York, this one reads, one deleted, dozens injured in Staten Island shipyard explosion.
A terrifying scene on Staten Island. An explosion at a shipyard kills one person and leaves dozens more injured. Good evening, I'm Dick Brennan in for Christine Johnson. Most of the injured New York City firefighters. The person killed was a civilian. This tragic incident happened around 3:30 this afternoon in the Mariners Harbor section of Staten Island. Andrew Ramos has the latest.
It was a chaotic scene this afternoon as more than 200 first responders converged to the scene of this shipyard here along Richmond Terrace. here to battle a blaze when the unexpected unfolded.
This was a complex, fast-developing emergency situation.
What started out as a fire that broke out at a shipping dock spiraled out of control Friday afternoon, sparking a massive emergency response. The call came in just before 3:30 p.m. of a fire in the basement of a metal structure at the Richmond Terrace shipyard.
We knew that 2 workers were trapped in the basement and there was a fire.
In the midst of battling the blaze, firefighters were blindsided by 2 subsequent explosions at the site that rattled the neighborhood.
First, I heard a loud boom, loud rumble, and they're usually doing construction down this block, and so you hear things similar, but this one sounded very different, very off.
When I came outside, it was just like one fire truck. I thought it was like not that bad, but then I was like, oh, okay. Then I started hearing more fire trucks pile up, and I'm like, okay, let me just go over here and see what's going on.
Mayor Mamdani, alongside fire officials, held a briefing at Staten Island University Hospital Friday evening, revealing that 1 person lost their life, while 35 others were left injured, majority of them FDNY firefighters.
They ran towards danger so others could escape to safety.
Officials say both firefighters were in a confined space at the time of the explosion. That blast of energy led to the fire marshal to suffer head trauma and a brain bleed, while the second firefighter, who was initially in serious condition, tonight is said to be doing well. Now, all the victims, which included 34 firefighters, were transported to area hospitals, all said to have suffered minor to moderate injuries. Now, the cause of the fire remains under investigation.
As the scriptures say, the Lord is going to visit them that dwelleth without care. This is Ezekiel 38:11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without bars and having neither bars nor gates, man. And that's Babylon the Great, man. You know, that virgin daughter of Babylon. The one that hasn't been penetrated, man. You know, and this lesson isn't even speaking about, you know, the third woe and everything that's going on with that and the financial woes that are going on. So, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi are indeed plaguing this place, you know, and this lesson is predicated on, you know, these current different events that are happening in the news, man, because they're a lot, man. It's a lot. Let's see, let's see, where was it at? So this is in New Mexico. 3 deleted 18 first responders quarantined after exposure to unknown substance at New Mexico home. I mean, there's all types of things going on in Babylon. 3 people deleted after nearly 20 first responders were quarantined Wednesday after exposure to an unidentified substance at a New Mexico home, authorities said. New Mexico State Police said officers responded around 11 a.m. to a residence in Mountainair, New Mexico, to assist the Torrance County Sheriff's Office with what was initially believed to be a suspected overdose involving an unknown substance. Authorities said 4 people were found unresponsive inside the residence. 3 of them were pronounced deleted, according to a statement. You know, and then all throughout the news. Let's go back to New York. Where is it at? This happened in New York too. Matter of fact, let's get a. Is this a video? There we go.
She was 56 years old. Police say just after 11 o'clock Monday night, Gokaj. Her name was Donica Gokaj. She was 56 years old. Police say just after 11 o'clock Monday night, Gokaj pulled over on East 52nd Street near 5th Avenue in Midtown. According to investigators, she stepped out of her SUV, took one step, and suddenly fell about 10 feet into an open manhole. The opening itself is only about 3 feet wide. And she fell through a manhole.
She fell through a manhole?
Yes, and she died.
How is this possible?
For hours, investigators gathered evidence, reviewed surveillance video, trying to figure out how the manhole ended up exposed.
There has to be cameras around here. How is that just allowed to happen?
In a statement to Pix 11, Con Edison says in part, "We have reviewed video footage from the area, which suggests that the cover was dislodged after a multi-axle truck turning onto 52nd Street from 5th Avenue drove over it. Approximately 12 minutes later, the person involved in the incident parked her car nearby." Fell through the manhole.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
When emergency crews got here, they found Gokaj at the bottom of the manhole, unconscious, unresponsive. She was rushed to New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center, but doctors could not save her. Do you see this white line on the street? It essentially guides people, lets them know where they can park, and it essentially bisects the manhole. Con Edison says, as rare as this is, it has happened before, that a truck drives by and runs over a manhole and the top just pops. So the big question tonight that investigators are trying to figure out, was there anything on the street that might have clued in a driver or a pedestrian that the manhole was uncovered and that someone could fall to their death?
Many, many, many great miseries are coming to these proud ass Babylonians, man, and the people in the world. You know, it just reminds me of the time of Noah. You know, when Noah was making the ark and everything, and you know, he was, you know, basically being mocked and everything, and he just kept going. And people didn't want to believe that there was going to be rain coming from the heavens, you know? And that's what faith is all about, man. Faith is the substance of Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, you know? Having faith in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi are going to get us sincere brothers and you few sincere sisters through these calamities, man. It says that she was deleted after suffering scald burns with inhalation thermal injury, in addition to blunt force trauma to the torso. Man, damn, that's a. Hey, let's get another scripture. And my wife was telling me about this story, and she had read that there were, maybe that's what the scolding was, but she had read that there were electrical, wires and everything, and she was electrocuted also going down. And she breathed in all the, like the toxic fumes from the ventilation and everything, and on top of that she fell and got the blunt force trauma, man. So 2 Corinthians 5:11, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. That's a terrible way to go out, man. You park your car, not thinking about anything, about to go and, go on about your business, take a step out, and next thing you know, you're falling into a fucking hole, a dark hole, and that's basically ends up being the end of you, man. That's terrifying, man. But we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciousness, man. And the Lord said he's going to visit this place, man. So let's go to the West Coast now.
Across overnight wildfires raging across Southern California, forcing thousands of evacuations. The Sandy Fire in Simi Valley now scorched more than 2,100 acres just 30 miles from Los Angeles. That fast-moving fire has threatened neighborhoods. This time-lapse video shows the race to escape. The winds howling, smoke and embers flying as families grab what they could, the sky turning orange. Headlights barely visible as they pulled away and disappeared. Randy Biles' doorbell camera alerted him that the fire was nearby and his wife was still inside.
It was so smoky you couldn't see through here. It was really bad. That's why I didn't know she wasn't here.
Officials have been trying to gain the upper hand on these fires for days. Calmer winds have helped, but firefighters are still battling hotspots in rugged terrain.
We're constantly monitoring weather. There's communications happening between the different divisions and making assessments of where the fire is going to move.
The Bain Fire in Riverside County, burning nearly 1,500 acres. 3 people suffering smoke inhalation, another taken to a hospital with traumatic injuries. And nearby, the Verona Fire, destroying at least 3 structures. And conditions have been slowly improving, helping firefighters start to get the upper hand. The Sandy Fire here is now 22% contained, but new fires are sparking up every day. Guys.
And that is a major concern.
So much is going on.
And we are also following this news out of California very closely. We're learning that more evacuations are now being reordered around Garden Grove, California, about 20 minutes from Anaheim. So there's the map. Orange County is what we're talking about. After a chemical leak started yesterday at an aerospace manufacturing facility. So we have a live shot of that plant here. First responders say that they were able to get the leak under control, but the situation is still very volatile because of a damaged valve on one of the tanks, with some calling this a ticking time bomb. NBC's Dana Griffin in LA for us right now. Dana, we just got an update on the situation. What did you hear from firefighters?
So, Tom, officials say that this is not precautionary. This tank is going to fail. They just don't know when. So inside this tank, it's a chemical called methyl crylate, or MMA. It's used in plastics manufacturing. Right now, they have ordered 40,000 people in Garden Grove to evacuate. They say about 15% have not done so, or only there's a 15% refusal rate. And officials say this is the reason why they want people out of there, because it is very dangerous.
Videos of tank cars on a railroad track blowing up, and that fireball it puts out, and it blows half the tank car a half a mile down the train track. That's the incident potential we are dealing with if this suffers a catastrophic failure. That's why, in an abundance of caution, we have reissued the evacuation.
We're now taking a live look at that tank. It carries up to 7,000 gallons of this toxic, flammable chemical. And there's 2 options here. It's going to leak or it is going to blow up. That is the only 2 things that could happen at this point, according to officials. Even the mayor saying that they know people are frightened and that this is a scary situation, but the priority is saving lives. That's why they want people in that evacuation zone to leave immediately. If they can get you back in, they say they will do so only when it's safe. Tom?
We are truly living in the valley of the shadow of death, man. As it says, Psalms, I believe it's 23. And 4. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And that's to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, man. Because we are indeed in Jacob's trouble, and it's only getting worse. And we can see all the calamities piling up around us, man. Right before our very eyes. So I'll read this. Ecclesiastes 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction they pour out their wrath, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So the Lord is plaguing this place, man. The Lord said he would visit Egypt again, you know? And that's what's happening, man. The Lord is indeed visiting this place, and these people are, in Babylon is being plagued, man. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire, man. And that's everything that we were just, looking at. Severe flooding, storms, evacuations because of chemical leaks. Matter of fact, let's get that. Where was that at? Let me see if I can grab that real quick. Wasn't that long ago. I've seen an article on it. Let's see, Slovakia. And the Lord warned of all these things. Here we go. It's an article from Reuters. Am I out? Drought and rising costs from Iran war deepen pain for U.S. farmers, man. It says U.S. farmers face high fuel and fertilizer prices because of Strait of Hormuz standoff. And this is from, what's today? Today's, 23rd, so 3 days ago. Some farmers skimp on fertilizer to cut costs, risking crop yields. Drought expands to about 60% of the U.S. mainland. So hey, we are indeed living in some perilous times, man. Let's get that and we'll end off. What's that? Ephesians 5, 6 and 5. There we go. 16. 15. Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, right? Circum meaning around, spec like just using spectacles to looking around, right? Paying attention to your surroundings. Not as fools, but as wise. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. We are indeed in some very evil times, some very perilous times. But Bahasham, Yahawashi will indeed protect their elect, man. So, brothers and sisters, keep your head on a swivel, man. Stay prayed up. Just remember, Bahasham, Yahawashi got us, and they will protect us through all these evils. You know, as long as we continue to seek them in truth and sincerity, man. You know, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to do you know, end the news report on what's going on in the world, you know, from coast to coast here in Babylon. You know, the Lord is plaguing this place, man. All praise to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Call Halal, Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning. Fighting is good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of this bitch. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing his word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom, Abba Ball, and Kwam Yasharallah. Hey, shalom. To the next one.